Come on, BTC.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. It is Friday, the 27th of September, 2024, 11 a.m. Central European Time, 10 o'clock in the UK, and a lot later wherever you are around the world. Yesterday, I had a break. I had a day off yesterday. I made some videos. I relaxed. I got my new glasses. I collected a giveaway that we are going to do, and we will announce that probably on Monday. So we've got a giveaway coming up on Tuesday. We then have another one the following Wednesday. That will be 3 giveaways in 3 weeks. This is as much as we can do right now. I'm going to get to the comments in a minute, but let me go through what we're going to talk about today. First of all, we're going to go through the markets very quickly, then we're going to go through the X-Files. Then we're going to look at 65K. China crisis, Visa and real world assets, SHIB stablecoins. If you're wondering why your SHIB bags that you've been getting from us after all this time are starting to pump. We're going to explain why. We're going to look at Pol, which is the coin associated with Polygon. Mags asked in chat 2 or 3 days ago and said, what's up with Pol? So we're going to have a look at an article about that. We are then going to talk about WorldCoin being sued. And again, I am not a fan of WorldCoin, and I don't like the premise of the project. So we don't really talk about it in a positive light on here. All of that in 1 hour. If you are new here, please smash the like button, say hello, and let me know you're watching. Press likes as well. Of course, the live title today is Breaking Waves. We are breaking above the target that some people have set for Bitcoin, but we are not at the target that I have set for Bitcoin, and I'll show you why very soon. Good morning to Peter, Mags, Hidden. Who else is in chat this morning? Kishan is here. I hope you are doing well. Peter, crypto has drove my head in. Oh, done my head in. I am going bonkers. But I'm very happy I swapped my dupe for Aero and Mantra. They are smoking. They are indeed. Now, again, one of the things that we covered on Wednesday, and I'm going to reiterate it at the start of the show. When Bitcoin moves, it moves dramatically. But then when it stops, it's like a stable coin and slowly grinds down for a period of time. If I'm sitting here on October the 27th and we are at $74,000 or $75,000 for Bitcoin, I would not be surprised. I would not be surprised if we are at $80,000 by the end of October. Look at the amount of money that is coming in from China alone. China is pumping its economy full of liquidity. The money supply is going up. And what happens when the money supply goes up? The price of Bitcoin goes up. So don't be surprised if we are at 80,000. But then don't be surprised if we're at 80,000 in February and we don't move for 3 months. That's what happens. Anyway, should we have a quick look at the markets and see where we are? Just let me take my seat and let's get on with the show. So what's Bitcoin doing? Bitcoin is at 65.8. Now, if you listen to the Oracle on Monday, he's back tonight, by the way. The Oracle has his trading stream tonight at, I believe, 9 o'clock. He has a target of 66,200 or 400, something like that. That's where he thinks Bitcoin is going to go to as the next port of call. We're at 65.8. We are up just a little bit. Ethereum coming in over 26.50. Tether, the worst performing asset in the top 5 by a country mile, coming in at $1, a solid dollar there again. BNB back over $600. Solana at 157. Now, there was a bit of news coming out from, I think, Van Eck or somebody like that, who said that they expect Solana in this bull run to go to 50% of Ethereum's total market cap. Now, of course, it would be easy for me to sit here and say, well, you just multiply Solana's price by 4 to get the target, but that's if Ethereum doesn't move for the entire bull run. If we multiply Solana by 4, we get to $600. I think without the ETF, that's where we're going to go on Solana, $600. With an ETF, I think we could easily crack $1,000, $1,100. The ETF will bring money in. However, we've seen with Grayscale time and time again, it dumps. If an ETF goes live on Solana in May or June next year, I don't expect us to go to $1,100. It's going to have to be soon, February, March time, to give us a couple of months for Grayscale to dump and then let us pump. So worst case scenario for me right now, Solana is $600. But let's wait and see. XRP still stuck under 60 cents. Doge, we do not talk about Doge on here. So there's the markets. Market cap is up to 2.3 trillion. Only another 4x to go for me to hit my target. Well, maybe a 3.5x. Volume, again, I've said this before. anything under $100 billion a day for me, it's not really bull run territory for me. This is just solid, nice movements. 90 billion is nearly there, but when we're talking about 120, 140, 160 billion dollars a day, that's when we're really in elbow deep in the bull run. We're not quite there yet. Bitcoin dominance and ETH dominance is sliding. That's what we need to keep an eye on. It's at 70.1%. It was at 70.5% 3 days ago. What does that mean? It means the market is starting to outperform Bitcoin. We're going to go and have a look at the Bitcoin dominance today. We're going to look at the DXY again today. I know we look at them 2 or 3 times a week, but they are the miner birds. They tell us the direction of what's going to happen. So that's why we need to keep an eye on them. Good morning, Bullish Bull. I hope you are well. My chat is always lagging. ETFs have slowed crypto down. I think what ETFs did was they pumped us further than we should have gone. And then we retraced. So we, for the very first time ever, broke all-time highs before the halving. And that shouldn't have happened. The all-time high should not break before April this year, and it did. Why did it do that? Because the ETFs pumped us full of money. Then Grayscale slowed us down because Grayscale dumped on us for months, and that petered off any kind of mad surge we were going to have. The same with Ethereum. Solana is going to be the same. Remember, once bitten, twice shy, and all that kind of stuff. When the Solana ETF goes live, I am personally going to sell my Solana because I'm expecting a Grayscale dump. If it happened on Bitcoin and it happened on Ethereum, of course, why is it not going to happen with Solana? So let's have a look at the gainers and losers. Let's see how rich you are all today. Wormhole is up 21, Pepe 17, Flocky, Audi, Conflux, Bonk, Shiba, Brett, Gala, all of it is up. But remember, these are not all-time highs. These are just recovering all of the losses that we've seen over the last 3 or 4 months. I've been saying for at least the last 2 months that Brett below 11 cents is a good buy. It's pumped 13%. It was at 8 cents not long ago. It's still under 11 cents. Bonk is only a $1.6 billion market cap. These are good prices, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. This isn't the bull run. This is just a reaction to the positive macro news. So we have a lot of gainers, but we're not out of the woods yet. We don't have really any losers. The stable coins are down there. Aptos, Monero, Potenza, ASI. Okay. I saw some news today that Kudos was becoming part of ASI. So your Kudos tokens will be converted into ASI as well. But again, it's 165. It's already pumped 65%, 60% in the last few weeks. It needs to have a bit of a cool down. Now then, it is Friday, and we have a plethora of X-Files to look at. But we're going to start with a little comical video. Why wouldn't we do this on a Friday? We don't do this every day. This is you. You are a baby elephant. And what happens is you're chasing all of these meme coins. You're chasing all of the alts. And then look, oh, you've fallen over. The market retraces. And what do? You come panicking back. And we are a big fat elephant here on Crypto Warehouse. We are the elephant. And we're here. So when you fall over and you go and buy the wrong meme coins and you go and buy the wrong coins, you don't know what to do, you come back to us and we will help you. That's enough of that. So far, I've called you chickens. I don't know what else I've called you on the stream. I think Cooper Bears or something like that. Now then, Matthew Hyland, are we trying to break out higher highs? This is the thing I'm going to talk about a bit today. I don't think this is a higher high. I said it on Wednesday. I'm saying it again today. I don't think that 65,000 should be considered a recent high. If you look at his line and you look at the line of the 4 circles at the top, you will see that they are in a line and the 65,000 isn't. If you look along the bottom, you will see that there are also 4 of the 5 circles in a line, and one of them is out. And that one that's out is lower, but we've put in a higher low now. But if you look at the lower low there and the lower high there, they're out of sync with the rest of the market. So I think 65,000 is a false higher high. We're going to get onto it in a minute. We've got a few of these to get through. I've got no rush today. It's a Friday. Peter is, cannot wait for December. Crypto will be up. Have you been able to watch a Liverpool match? I have watched the Liverpool match, and every time that they go down or concede a goal, I turn off because that's as good as it gets for me. CZ is out today. I can't pronounce his real name, but CZ is being released today. This is the start of the bull run. CZ comes out, jumps onto Twitter, tells everybody that the bags are going to 10x. Market begins. He's timed it to perfection. Gary Gensler has confirmed that Bitcoin is not a security. Okay? Now, it's great that he's come out and said that Bitcoin is not a security, but there are 2,000 other cryptocurrencies out there. And what is he basing his it's not a security on? Is he basing it on the fact it's proof of work? Because if that's the case, then Litecoin and Dogecoin and Casper are also not securities. What is he basing it on? Anybody can say this. What is substantiating that statement? Why is one a security and one not a security? He's been in this job under Biden for nearly 4 years. Nearly 4 years he has been in that job. And yet we still don't have a definition of what makes a cryptocurrency a security or a commodity. Seriously? Sam Altman, again, one of the things which we've covered on this channel quite a few times is AI. Now, Sam Altman, and this is a bit puzzling, because OpenAI was a charity, and as far as I was aware, it was a charity. It was not a charity, it was a not-for-profit organisation, and they were getting donations from, I don't know, Google, Microsoft, Apple. Elon Musk put money in, and then suddenly I saw this 2 days ago, was it, or yesterday? He has given himself 7% of a company that's valued at 150 billion. So he's given himself $10.5 billion. It's so deeply unimaginable to people to say, I don't really need more money. If I were to say I'm going to try and make $1 trillion with OpenAI, it would save a lot of conspiracy theories. Now, again, it was a charity. As far as I was aware, it was a charity or non-for-profit, and now he's made $10.5 billion out of it. I mean, again, I read somewhere once an investor or someone like Warren Buffett said, if you want to make money in life, start a charity. And maybe that's the case. Now then, this is not good news. We're going to find out on October the 7th or 8th, whenever it is. A former SEC lawyer who recently left the agency says that the SEC will probably appeal Judge Torres's July 2023 ruling concerning the sales, because everybody over there believes that the decision is wrong, it's not good law and should be appealed. Now, October the 7th is the deadline. I said on Wednesday that if XRP's case is appealed, it will kill XRP's bull run. And I stand by that. XRP's bull run was based on having no litigation outstanding and being able to really get into 2025 with a clean slate. If this is appealed, it will be appealed and carried forward to April or May next year. That's the end of the bull run for XRP. I think it will probably still get up towards $2 or $3, but it won't go any higher. That's the end of it, if it happens. So October the 7th is incredibly important for Ripple. It's not too important for the rest of crypto, in my opinion, but it's incredibly important for XRP. Now then, This is literally the Battle of Helm's Deep going on right now. This is the DXY hanging on for dear life. We came down to this level on the 23rd of August. We bounced, we were rejected twice, and now we are on the 27th of August. What's that? 5 weeks. 5 weeks we are fighting at this line. If this breaks and we come down, which I keep saying, if we do this, the Oracle needs to get a better colour scheme than purple. If we do this, then I am going to be happy. I don't foresee a situation where the DXY goes into a terminal decline. I don't think that's going to happen. We have found massive support here, and we could come back up. Okay? And that's going to temper Bitcoin's pump. The news from China is going to help, but I think for now, we just need to keep an eye on that DXY. It's been there for 5-ish weeks in that range. It's either going to break out or break down, and maybe it breaks down a little bit. Who knows? Good morning to Solanki. Solo Sky. Any retracement for Bitcoin after getting to 66? I'm going to have a look at that in a minute. And Solanki, will Bitcoin drop before the bull run? I'm going to let you know about that as well. And Chris has got a heavy head. It was Chris's birthday yesterday, and he celebrated it in style by being sent new. No, he didn't. He had a cake, as everybody else would have. Right then, Ethereum, Bitcoin, again, we keep an eye on this. Again, we're a long way from home, Dorothy. We are still in the pits. We are back above 0.4, but again, I think if Bitcoin starts to go up towards 66, I think we could go in that direction. And again, this is the target, roughly the target for the end of the year for Ethereum to start to break up. So what I would do is suggest that potentially sometime in November or December, late November, December, we start to see that. That is my theory. And that's based on previous cycle and about 62,000 Ben Cowen charts, and everything he says makes sense to me. Bitcoin is going to keep going, and I think everything's going to lag. Bitcoin has a breather, everything catches up for a bit, and that's, I think, the way we're going to go. So Ethereum still isn't breaking up as far as I can see. And then finally, very quick look at the Bitcoin dominance before we get into the news. Let's have a look. Now, everybody was making a massive deal about that. Okay, that was the massive deal that all the headlines have been. Now, if you zoom out and you look at how many times Bitcoin has done exactly the same thing over the last God knows how many years, you will understand that that really isn't much of a pullback in Bitcoin dominance. Yes, we topped out over 58%. Yes, we're at 57.5%. But I mean, seriously, we know what's going to happen next, don't we? We know it's going to do this towards the end of the year. Now, at some point, this is going to stop doing this, and then we're going to lose all of these lines. So this line's going to be broken, this line's going to be broken, and then this is going to start to happen next year. And again, we can go back and have a look at the previous bull run to see how dramatic the fall is. So we've seen this nice, what's that, a 30%, 25% incline. Let's just remind ourselves what actually happened to Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance was over 60%. It topped out right up there at 73%. Now look at that almighty crash. So that was the 29th of March. And at 29th of March, it was at 60%. By the 19th of May, so 2 months later, it had dropped to 40%. Okay, that took 2 months. That was dramatic. So again, when we go back over here and we see this nice slow increase and we do this, let's say we go to March again, we are going to see that kind of action. Something like that. And again, if you want to see drawing, go and watch Tony Hart, because it certainly isn't going to be the kind of drawing you get on this channel. Or Bob Ross. I'm not going to paint you a picture of a mountainscape. But the point of the matter is, I think we've still got a little bit of time to go before we join that and we absolutely tank. So again, nothing to report from the DXY, nothing to report from ETH Bitcoin, and nothing to report from the Bitcoin dominance. So I suppose we should go in and have a look at Bitcoin, see where we are, and see what's going. I said that after my birthday, it would start to grow. Well, exactly. Now, my birthday is the 2nd of October, which is a week away. So I think the actual bull run is going to start on my birthday. That's my prediction. That's my prediction. I'm going to stick with it. Now, expiry day today, because if I look, this is the last Friday of September. Now, September is not just a monthly close, it's a quarterly close, because as of October the 1st, we'll be in the last quarter of 2024, October, November, and December. So this is a slightly bigger close than your monthly one. And don't forget, this is the second biggest options expiry of the year so far, I believe. So we're coming in at 65.4. Clearly we're not at 65.4, we're a lot higher. We've gone up, we're having a good time. There was the chart. We did have a bit of a retracement, didn't we? We came down to 64.8, was it 64.6 last night? And then I woke up and we're back over 65. So we've got the shorts being liquidated, but again, 21 million in shorts is absolutely nothing. It's peanuts. You'd need to be talking about 200 or 300 million before we even get started. 54,000 traders were liquidated on Thursday, and the options expire today. 9 billion in options for Bitcoin and Ethereum. The next step, remember, by the way, is that Solana options futures have been applied for, as far as I'm aware. I think the ETF applications were withdrawn, but I think the futures, I think we could have Solana futures in the near future. Again, if you pardon the pun. So we're going to see 9 billion. There is max pain, but let me show you the chart. You asked a couple of questions in the chat about, is Bitcoin, one of the questions was, is Bitcoin going to retrace before the bull run? Bitcoin is going to retrace several times during the bull run. Remember, if we take a 30% correction, then Bitcoin going from 80,000 downwards would take us to 56. If it's at 84,000, it would take us down to 60. So there's a lot of retracements. Now, again, I told you I'm not Tony Hart. I have said that. But my little yellow line is pretty much pointing to where I think we need to break. So I do not recognize that as a lower high. I recognize all of these ish as the tips. So I think if we're going to break and we're going to go up and we're going to break and put in a higher high, then I think we need to break 68,200. Do I think we're going to get there? Yes, I do. Do I think we're going to get there today? No, I do not. I think we will probably find some level of resistance at, let's say, mid-60s, mid-66s, sorry. I think we're never going to go up in a straight line. We're always going to have these mini little dips along the way. So we're not going to get there today or tomorrow. I'm not saying that. But I do think 68.2 is the target for me. And again, everybody else is saying 65. So I'm just going to play devil's advocate and say that we are going to go to 66 and a bit. The Oracle says 66 as well. Where is this? Oh, never mind. I'll sort it out again. So I think we're going to go to 66 today. And then we're going to see where we go. We've got We've got time, okay? Pumptober isn't for another 4 days. We've got time. This is the most, as far as I'm aware, this is the most positive September in the history of Bitcoin. Okay, I think we're up 11%, maybe 12% this month. We weren't supposed to be up anything in September. This was supposed to be a pretty naff month. A pretty naff month would have kept us at about 60,000, 59,000. That's where we should be. But the gods have decided, the macro gods have decided that China is going to print money. America's cut 0.5%, maybe cut 0.5% again in November, who knows? And then we're going to go even further. So for Bitcoin to really move, we need the money supply to go up. And the money supply is going up. But it doesn't happen overnight. The money coming into the market, the interest rates being cut, that's not going to happen instantaneously. It's not going to happen next Thursday. We're not suddenly going to be 85,000 next Thursday. It's going to take weeks for this to actually kick in. So we've got time. You know, October is 4 days away, and then we've got 4.5 weeks, hopefully, of really positive news. When people expect the markets to go up, they are bullish. October, you can go through any chart you want. The average is 23, 24, 25%. If that's the case, then in October, we are going to be somewhere in the region of there. Now, just like Darren Brown, if you look in the bottom corner of the screen, on the right-hand side, you will see $74,000. That's been there for 6 months. This isn't a Darren Brown skit where I've tricked you all into believing that. But 20% from where we are now would put us at $78,000, and we would break that line, which is the all-time high. Let me bring it down actually a minute. Let me just bring that to there. There we go. There we go. That's what we need to break. So there is the two targets. 68,000 we need to break. I don't really recognize that. Even though we've broken it, I don't recognize it. And then we need to break up towards 74. That's October's target anyway for me, 74,000. But going back to the comment of, are we going to see more corrections? Yes, we are going to see more corrections. We're going to see a lot of moves to the downside between now and the end of the bull run. On average, there are 7 fairly decent corrections in a bull run. 7. Now, that leaves us potentially another 3 or 4 for next year. So even if we go to 100,000 in March, April, even if we do, you've still got to retrace potentially 30%, 25%. So that's 100 down to 75. That's 120 down to 90. You're still going to get the opportunities to buy in. Peter, for example, is looking to sell in December. That's not a bad call. If we're at 86,000 in December and we do a 30% retracement and we come down to $60,000, $62,000 in January or February, he buys back in. His bags suddenly get multiplied. He gets pumped. Maybe he buys back in March. Maybe we have a May or June high before a July-August retracement of another 30% for 2 months. Remember what we said on Monday, 24 or 27 months out of the last 14 years have dictated the Bitcoin price action. So 2 years worth of pumps in 14 years have got us to $65,000. It's not a lot. The stock market isn't too dissimilar. You know, if you go and pick the 20 worst days in stock market history, they are followed by the 25 best days in stock market history, because those 30% dumps allow for the liquidity to be built up to push the price higher. And we know the price is going to go higher when retail turn up. When all of those Cooper Bears or whatever I had on Monday turn up, that's when you know your bags are ready to pack. When people in the street say to you, is now a good time to buy Bitcoin, don't laugh and say 2 years ago, because they are the people that are going to buy your bags off you. So for me, 68,000, then 74,000 for the end of October. That's what I'm hoping. Again, I don't have a crystal ball. I am in the same boat as you. As I said to Kishan yesterday, we're in the same boat. Our job is to stop you falling out of the boat and drowning. That's our job. Okay, our job is to try and be here when everybody else isn't. We know that all of the other crypto influencers are going to start flooding back now, giving you ridiculous price targets. But just remember who was here at $16,000, $17,000 when everybody else had gone. Good morning, Tariq. I hope you are well. Remember to smash the like button and give us a follow or a subscribe if you do not. China eyes 142 billion lifeline for struggling banks. Again, this is the liquidity we were talking about. They've not just pumped money in. They are going to inject money, but what they're also doing is cutting rates. They're also allowing for the banks to have a lower reserve. That's dangerous for me. Fractionalized reserves are a terrible way to run a business. What fractionalized reserves means is if you put $100 into a bank, that bank will go and maybe lend out $99. So at any one time, your bank only has $1 of your money in it. The rest of it is loaned out. And they might pay you 1% interest a year, and they will be making 8% interest a year on your money. So they make their profits, they pay their wages, pay the light bill, pay the staff off that 7%. That's how they make their money. And fractionalized reserves is simply allowing them to hold less and less. And in the past, I think it was as high as 3 or 5%. And when they cut it to 1%, for me, it's super dangerous. I don't like that. I think banks should hold 10%, 15%, because if there's a bank run, the bank will go out of business, and it's not good. So China is preparing to inject 1 trillion yuan into its largest state-owned banks. The economy is not great. Real estate, we've already talked about this over the last 2 years. Evergreen problems, massive companies. They're pulling down blocks of flats in China that weren't finished because nobody bought them, and the construction company went out of business. Everybody thinks that economically China is going to challenge America. I don't think they're there yet. I think BRICS can challenge America. But I think that a lot of the Chinese economy is built on sand, and their exports keep their economy afloat. You know, all the equipment that you buy, you look on the back, it's made in China. When the world economy suffers, as it has done for the last 3 years, China feels that more than most. And there just isn't enough money going around in China to keep everything they're trying to do. So they're going to artificially pump it full of money. And again, you can see here, this is the first time since 2008. What happened in 2008? It was a subprime mortgage crash in America. Fannie Mae went to the wall. Warren Buffett made millions, hundreds of millions out of it. So this is dark times for China. So anybody that thinks China is going to become the top dog based on its economy, it's a long way off from that yet. Now then, we're going to talk about a few more non-macro events now. We're going to talk about Visa, we're going to talk about SHIB, we'll talk about Pol, and we're going to talk about WorldCoin. I should just say, I should have a little device here that just plays a sound effect of boo every time I say the word Mooncoin. Hello from Poland. Good morning from stormy South Carolina. Oh yes, you've got storms over there, of course. Yes, I forgot. Was it? It's not Katrine. Was Katrine last year? Was Storm Katrine the really bad one last year? I think. Right, Eugene, while you are here, one thing you need to know is you won the giveaway on Wednesday. So what you need to do, Eugene, is find the details and message me, and then I will talk to you over that. I can't say anything else other than that, but you won on Wednesday. We had a Mew giveaway, and you were one of the lucky winners, I believe. Visa, this is really small. Let's see if I can make it bigger for you to read. Visa launches a platform for tokenizing real-world assets. Now, this has come a little bit left field for me, because if you'd have asked me to name 3 or 4 companies that would have launched real-world asset platforms, they would have been the likes of BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, maybe even some of the existing crypto companies that we won't mention on here, maybe they would have also gone down the world of real world assets. But Visa is I didn't expect this. So it's developing a new tokenization platform to help banks issue fiat-backed tokens. The Visa Tokenized Asset Platform, VTAP, aims to enable the trading of real-world assets via smart contracts on the Ethereum blockchain. Again, Ethereum is not going to die anytime soon. By 2025, the Spanish bank BBVA is expected to launch the first live pilot on the platform, according to a report by CoinDesk. Institutions will be able to buy tokenized real-world assets, such as commodities or bonds, in the form of tokens. Transactions will be settled in near real time over the Ethereum network. Cross-border money transfers are also key. Now then, again, Visa needs to adapt or die to blockchain technology and to crypto. Why? Because Visa is a payments platform. At the end of the day, they take commission from transactions. If those transactions are all carried out over the blockchain, how does Visa get its little mitts into the pie? It's difficult, isn't it? So Visa has to do stuff like this. Now, if Visa allows the tokenization of assets and builds a platform to allow this to happen, then Visa is going to be taking microtransactions on everything, isn't it? So it's going to keep the status quo. It's going to keep its share of the pie. It's also working directly with the Solana blockchain to have debit cards on there. It's working with MetaMask as well. I think MasterCard are doing the same thing to allow you to connect your MetaMask to Visa. So Visa is adapting. Now, there are many examples in this world of companies that didn't adapt. IBM, mainframe computing, died. IBM did. Kodak, Fujifilm, all of the traditional camera companies, the majority of them died. Why? Because they didn't see digital cameras. They didn't see smartphones coming along. At the time, had they had created a smartphone, they probably would still be alive today. So you adapt or die. And people think, oh, these are massive companies, they will just live forever. No, they don't. If you go back and look at the top 100 companies from 60, 70 years ago, and you look at the top 100 companies from 30 years ago, and you look at the top 100 companies from today, they're all different. There are exceptions, of course there are. The mining companies, the oil companies, yes, the commodities. But the technology companies, they're all different. If we look at crypto and we go back 6 years, 3 years, and today, and we look at the top 10 cryptocurrencies, even from the last 6 years, they've changed. Litecoin has dropped out of the top 10. XRP was second, it's now fifth, or something like that. The stablecoin market has grown exponentially. So things change, but they don't necessarily change before your eyes. They change when you look away. So Visa has to do this. And it's not a bad idea, but this goes up against the likes of XRP. And Visa is using Ethereum. If Visa is using Ethereum and BlackRock is using Ethereum, Ethereum isn't going to go anywhere, no matter what anybody tells you. So this isn't the first blockchain project. They were one of the founding members of the Libra stablecoin DM. That got absolutely kicked into touch by the American government. They didn't want Facebook having its own stablecoin, and they absolutely crushed it. In fact, I think they sold all the IP to a third party. We're seeing an increasing demand from consumers across the world to be able to access, hold, and use digital currencies. And we're seeing demand from our clients to be able to build products that provide access for consumers. So again, think of it this way. Visa goes to every bank in the world and says, there you go, there is a crypto platform for you to sell crypto assets to your clients. Visa, we're trusted. We've already got a banking relationship with you with your debits and credit cards. Implement this. All of the banks around the world are going to go, you know what, we don't need to build our own crypto self-custody asset or project. We can just use Visa. That's probably where Visa want to end up. Whether they win or not is a different matter, but it's a massive pie. And I think Visa just want to make sure that they don't lose out, because there is a possibility of that. Now then, this is an interesting one because we've been giving SHIB away on the channel for about 18 months now. And I always knew SHIB was going to be a solid community project. And this has caught me by surprise as well. I know there's so many people here and nobody presses the like button. It's incredible. Smash the like button. Let me know you are all here. Right then. So what is this news of stablecoins and SHIB, and why is this important? Well, the SHI stablecoin, a key development for stability and utility in the Shibarium ecosystem. The SHI stablecoin is a crucial development, just repeating themselves, currently in the works and not yet released. Its introduction is expected to significantly enhance the Shibarium. So Shibarium is the ecosystem of SHIB. Bone is the DAO token associated with SHIB, if you ever see that token knocking around. Now, why is this important? Because if you want to keep people on your ecosystem, you need stablecoins. And this is one of the things we've talked about on here before. If you've got a blockchain without a stablecoin and you want to sell your Cardano or your Solana or your Ethereum, and you don't have a stablecoin on that blockchain to sell it to, then you're going to send that to an exchange, or you're going to send it via a wormhole somewhere else. How do you keep the money within your ecosystem? You need people to be able to change it to fiat, and that is what adds value to a blockchain. So if I'm on Cardano and I have made, let me think. You're on Cardano and you've got SNEC, and you have made 1,000% profit on SNEC. Then you will very quickly be able to sell it to either ADA at the moment or USD. I can't remember the name of the one on Cardano. But you don't have to remove the money from the ecosystem. That's the key. The money doesn't have to go anywhere. If you don't have that stable coin and you don't want to sell it to Cardano because the markets are pumping and you're expecting a retrace, you send it to an exchange and you sell it for US dollars on that exchange. That's how it works. So having a stable coin in your ecosystem basically gives people the option of not sending it to an exchange. That's pretty much it. Absolutely right, Tariq. I did, and I stand by that, but I'm still bullish on the ecosystem. The ecosystem's going to do very well. And when I mean it's going to do very well, I mean it's not going to die. There's a difference between me saying a project is going to 10 or 20x and saying a project is going to die. Phantom is a perfect example. Phantom was going to die. Andre Cronje was put in charge of it. Now I no longer think that. All of these developments that happen on Bonk, on SHIB, on Pepe, and those coins, it's not going to pump them. It's a little bit like Visa. So Visa are trying to stay relevant by offering this real-world asset platform. Shiba and Bonk are staying relevant by having these partnerships with Revolut, having these stable coins, having these Telegram bots. They're just staying relevant. They are sustaining their market cap. That's different to a coin 10xing or 20xing. In potentially 5 or 6 years' time, after the end of this next bear market, then SHIB will probably be a lot higher than it is now. But it still has to maintain its market cap. So if you're in a race, and SHIB is in a race against Bonk, and SHIB is at 6 billion and it stops running, guess what happens? Bonk will overtake it in a race. So SHIB has to keep running, but keeping running does not mean it's going to go and catch Doge or go and catch XRP. It just means it stays in the race. So having a stable coin keeps it alive. Bonk partnering with Revolut or Robinhood or whatever, one of these other TradFi platforms, or sorry, not TradFi, what are they called? TechFi, I don't know what they're called nowadays. But anyway, it keeps them alive. I wouldn't be buying SHIB for this bull run. Absolutely not. But this is great for the ecosystem. This is what we want to see. Lucy did not share details regarding the launch date of the stablecoin. It's currently under development and going through rigorous testing. The idea is to peg the coin at 1 cent. Very interesting. The specifics remain an open question, and the matter of the increasing regulatory oversight of stablecoins would have to be addressed. Now, again, if it's not classified as a stablecoin and it just remains stable, then what I can't understand is you've got these coins like USDC, USDT, USDE, I think is another one. Just don't call it USD. I mean, it's so obvious. It's like if I call something Coca-Cola coin or McDonald's coin, what do you think is going to happen? They're going to come after me. If I call a coin USD, what do you think the US government are going to do? It's like calling a coin the euro, EUR. The European Union have outlawed European stablecoins. But create a coin that holds the value against the currency. Just call it something different, like DAI. So SHIB is looking good for me, and I am very happy with the idea that this is just going to build them out even more, and the Shibarium project just keeps marching forward. That's what we want to see. Again, we talk about SHIB on here. We talk about Bonk. We talk about Pepe. We talk about Dog with Hat. Do we ever talk about Dogecoin? We don't ever talk about Dogecoin, do we? What is Dogecoin doing? Why does it have its market cap? It's on borrowed time, in my opinion. Anyway, let us move on very quickly. We are going to talk about Polygon's network growth. So this is for Mags. Mags asked me on Wednesday, what's going on with Pol? Here's the answer. Now, again, we're also going to look at the token itself. So I'm going to go through the chart. Now, again, we're going to need to find a chart that is Matic as well as Pol, because this is what happens. This is what happens when you relaunch, and I showed this on Wednesday as well. This is not helping anybody, is it? The token swap only happened, 2 weeks ago. So again, I suppose if we type in Matic, maybe we will find, there we go, that'll do. We'll use this one for now. So we'll have a look at Polygon in 1 second. So basically, Polygon went through a token conversion from Matic to Pol, and it was more than just a name change. Matic was simply the token of the Polygon network. They've changed it to Pol. Now, Pol is the underlying asset that is going to be used by the AG layer, which I said we would go through, and I found an article to kind of get people up to speed with it. So Polygon's network has grown by 1,019%. 1,019%. It's already the biggest layer 2. There's a very pretty picture. Polygon recently transitioned from Matic. The upgrade process ran smoothly. It was a 1-for-1 conversion. We don't need to worry about that. Following the upgrade, Polygon has led all assets in network growth over the last 30 days, up 1,019%. This surge was followed by wrapped Ethereum on Polygon, which was up 263%. Layer 0 on Optimism, only 254, on Arbitrum 219. So Polygon, which has, in my opinion, in the last bull run, it was ready. But all of the good news about Matic and Polygon came out in the bear market last year. So all of their really big collabs that they had with traditional businesses, they all just got swept away in the bear market. There was nothing really to pump that coin. It did have some runs, but all the good news came out last year. So the timing of their marketing department, absolutely shocking. However, all of that's been got out of the way. And now, the start of this year, they've been talking about the AG layer, which is fundamentally more important than any of the news to do with Starbucks or any of the travel companies that they've partnered with. This is the big news. These stats highlight that Polygon not only dominates its own network, but also in cross-chain performance. The transaction count has surged since the ecosystem upgrade. The transaction volume has consistently been high since July, although there were dips in August. Everything dipped in August. If you remember, that's when Bitcoin went down to about 49,000. The metrics continue to show growth. DeFi Llama in here, we don't need to talk about that. The inflow of Pol tokens was recorded at $660 million. The number of active addresses, 526,000 active addresses on Polygon. A huge number of people for now, of course, not a huge number of people for 10 years' time when there's 3 billion people in crypto, but for now, 500,000 people is not to be laughed at. The TVL is only $1 billion. And remember, the TVL is a little bit of a trick. If the price of if the price of Pol goes to $1.20 tomorrow, that ecosystem TVL will be 4 billion because it's tied to the value of the token in most cases. So we know the rest of the market is up. The ecosystem is growing on Polana. The addresses are in profit. 61% of addresses are in profit. All of this is good news. With all of these metrics aligned, Polygon is well positioned for its price to move higher. It's supported by increased network growth, active transaction volume, and long-term investment. Now, very quickly, we're going to go and show you what all the fuss is about. So this is the AG layer, okay? The aggregation layer solves blockchain fragmentation by enabling sovereign chains to securely share liquidity, users, and state. Okay, what does that mean in simple terms? You could have Solana, Cardano, Ethereum, Polygon, Optimism, Arbitrum, all running their own apps, all running their own networks, their own systems, but underneath using the AG layer to share liquidity. So if I want to go and buy an NFT on Polygon, and I've got my funds on Solana and they're all connected on the AG layer, it would allow me to move my money seamlessly without me noticing. 3 things we want in crypto: regulation, adoption, interoperability. This is interoperability. It's not the only one doing it. We've got CCIP from Chainlink doing it. We have others as well. But this is big, okay? And for all of those people worrying about the price of Polygon, it's a dead chain. It was the last bull run. They're kind of going from front page to page 4, like Chainlink have. Chainlink's not sexy. Chainlink's put through $17 trillion worth of assets. It takes microtransactions out of everything. Polygon is going head to head with Chainlink. So for me, it's massively undervalued. Not to the point where it should be 20x higher at this moment in time, but it should certainly be $1.20 right now at this stage of the bull run. So the AG layer is where we want to be. Does it have any other information down here? So native tokens, a single bridge smart contract. Assets on the AG layer are always native and never wrapped, providing a better user experience. Unified liquidity. The TVL of all collected chains is shared, allowing developers to focus on use case and product market fit, not bootstrapping users. The AG layer will be compatible with shared sequences and third-party DA solutions. Connected chains can even use their native tokens for gas. Again, there's lots of other things on here. Aggregation, unified liquidity, accounting, sequencing, all of that stuff's on there. So what I would advise everybody to do is go and read, go to Google, type in Polygon AG layer and go and read that page. Just read this page. Don't need to go into the ins and outs of everything. Go and read that one page. That's all you need to understand. And of course, Polygon's got other things. It's got ZK rollups. It's got everything. And again, for people to even believe that some of the newer layer 2 blockchains are better than Polygon, I find it hard to believe. Polygon has the network effect because it's already spent 4 years building out all of these connections with other individuals, relationships. Optimism is doing a great job of becoming like an SDK for chains. Arbitrum is doing a good job of becoming DeFi, but I don't think any of them at this moment in time come close to Polygon. Now the price target, let us move down here. We are looking at March when everything else was ripping to the upside. I'm only going to do it from here. I do not want to have to do this. Give me a second. There we go. Right. So, very quickly, explain where we are. This is an example of where price action does not reflect performance. For me, Polygon is better here as a project than it was here at the end of last year. The price action, when we pumped from 50 cents to $1.10. We're now at 43 cents. So we are below the pre-halving pump. None of that makes any sense. So what I'm expecting to happen probably in the next month, because October, maybe they've learned from their mistakes. Maybe they've learned, you know what, we shouldn't be releasing news when Bitcoin's on a slide. Maybe we should wait. Maybe they're going to wait for the next week or two and then start to release news about the ag layer. And then you're going to see the price rip. It is not going to stay there forever. And honestly, you've got probably, that would be my line. That's 94 cents. That's 110, 115% up from where we are now. That's where we should probably be right now, going into October at 94 cents. Now for the bull run, I'm not going to tell you this is going to $15 because I don't think it will. $5, $6, $7 possible. All-time high was $3.50. I think the tokenomics have been changed on the token. Maybe it goes to $4 or $5. But even if it goes to $4.35, it's a 10x. And it's a solid project. If you're going to buy projects based on revenue generation, like Chainlink, like Aero, like Jupiter, like Radium, like Orca, like Uniswap, then you need to be looking at Polygon. And again, I hold a very small bag, full disclosure. I don't hold a massive amount of Polygon, but I am massively bullish on it. So hopefully that has answered some of Mag's questions. Mu is 20% up today. Is it really? Fantastic. That is what we want to hear. Again, Mu is my pick for, let's have a look, World Coin Find. Let's have a look. This is it. Or it's something similar anyway. Oh, no. I'm not looking at that. That is way too grotty. There we go. WorldCoin Find again. Crypto store clerk runs off with $500,000 in cash. WorldCoin violated its laws. Hong Kong cash. Let's just get down to the actual bit. What time is it? We're actually on time. So they've been fined $850,000 in South Korea. They've also been fined, as far as I'm aware, in Nigeria. They have been investigated in many other countries. I will never support this project because I believe it infringes on your rights. You can basically turn up and find an eye, I think they're called. You can have your retina scanned. They will create a digital version of your retina and they will then pay you, is it 20 world coin that you get, something like that, 25 world coin you get. Now my issue is that they are tied to these people. And again, we don't need to see anything other than the headline just to show you. WorldCoin eyes partnership with OpenAI despite regulatory setbacks. Sam Altman, the crypto and AI project has faced scrutiny around the world for its eyeball scans. So again, WorldCoin is going to scan your eyeballs. OpenAI is now a profit organization. It's not a non-profit organization anymore. Can anybody see the problem here? We are scanning the population of the world and we are giving it to a company that has an association with an AI project looking to build AGI, Artificial General Intelligence, right? If there was ever a story about robots becoming sentient and taking over the planet and then going back 200 years in time to take out the resistance, like Terminator, for example, it's being written in front of our eyes. And if you think I'm crazy, fine, think I'm crazy. But there is nothing about WorldCoin and OpenAI that is going to end well. Because if it's hacked and that data is stolen, the people that steal that data are going to have the eyeball scans of 100, 200, 300 million people. I mean, can nobody see the danger in that, in a centralized organization holding that information? And they're going around countries without any real scrutiny. Where is the thought process for allowing WorldCoin into your country? So I don't like this. I don't like it at all, and I am not a fan. So the more it's fined and the more it's shut down, in my opinion, the better. Now, before we go, I've had a notification on my phone that Bitcoin is pumping. Let's have a look at the price of Bitcoin. What are we coming in at? 60, we haven't moved, 65.8. So it is 12:03. I am done for the day. I've got a few videos to make today, so I am going to call it a day. We have some exciting news coming up on the horizon. Now, next Tuesday, we have our Chronos Night, which means that we're going to be giving away some tokens on the stream. Next Tuesday, not next Wednesday. The following week, so October the 9th, we are going to be giving away one of these. Now, let me show you what's going to be given away. Now, again, full disclosure, we have not been paid by OneKey, okay? They haven't paid us. This is not a sponsored segment. They've sent us one, and we're going to review it. And then they've sent us another one to give away. So we're going to give it away. So a week on Wednesday, we are going to be giving away one of these. Now, unfortunately, it is not going to be given away to everybody. So if you give me 1 second. Just give me 1 minute, because I need to turn off a couple of streams. There we go, turned off. Right, so on Binance, we are going to have this night. Let me show you very quickly before we go. I'm going to start doing this, by the way. I'm going to start cutting off some of the other streams that we do, so you guys can actually see and hear what we are talking about. So if I go to me, for example, and this isn't a self-promotion, by the way, this is this. Here we go. So 9th of October, which is a week on Wednesday, the OneKey giveaway night. We're giving away a OneKey wallet live on stream to one of our OGs, okay? More prizes will be announced close to the stream. We're going to give away, and look how pretty that image is, eh? I mean, come on. Beautiful. So that's going to be the 9th of October. Only going to stream this on Binance Live and YouTube. We're not going to stream it anywhere else. OG is somebody that is a member of our YouTube group, okay? That's it. So random walk-ups, or whatever you want to call it, they are not allowed to enter. This is going to be for one of our OGs. And then for the rest of the show, we're going to give away crypto to other people watching. So a week on Wednesday, we have this. And again, we will have another giveaway on the Tuesday, which is that one there. Okay, so next Tuesday on the 1st of October, 7 p.m. Central European Time, we will drink wine and talk about CrowFam and give away Moon, streamed on Binance Live on YouTube. We got 10,500 views last time we did this. So 1st of October, next Tuesday, that is what we're doing. And we're going to give away Moon, we're going to give away Ari token, we're going to give away Peak token. And again, I haven't been given any tokens yet. Nobody's given me any tokens to give away. This is coming out of our pocket. And so far, we have about $30 to give away. We're going to give away $20 in Moon, 5 in Peak, and 5 in Ari out of our own pocket. And we are going to try and ask them to see if they're going to donate anything to the stream. But if not, there's going to be $30 given away out of our pocket. And it's going to be our second Chronos night. We did one back at the beginning of September, I think. This is the next one. So 2 streams to look out for. That's it. That's the end. Thanks, everybody. Take care. Have a great weekend. See you soon.